Hey guys, what's up? This is Connor here. Hope you have an amazing day. As you can probably see, we're in a bit of a different backdrop today. We're in a bit of a different setting. Here's why. Last 14 days, I made a bit of a spontaneous decision with what was an ex-client in a program that I'd coached in that's now a friend of mine who I hadn't met in person. I was messaging him and I told him that I was looking to travel sometime in August just because I'm seeing a friend of mine play at an event in Kuala Lumpur on August the 26th. So I thought I'd check out a new country just because I can. And 2 weeks ago we just decided, we had one message and then I was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. And I've been here for a couple days. I had a bunch of people ask me like, why are you going? How long are you going for? Answer to both of those was, I don't know. I guess why are you going to Vietnam specifically is just want to check out a new place. I want to experience things, and having the skill of high ticket sales or just sales in general does enable me to do that. Which is all my other students are able to do that and have that luxury once they're at a certain point of cash flow, which I thought was really cool. So I just thought I'd just share that with you, a bit of a life update. I'm in Vietnam for the next 3 months. The setting might change. I'm looking to get a stand-up desk and things like that. But anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about what you came for in today's video. So what I might title this video is more specifically, are you struggling to find your high-ticket sales gigs? Or are you struggling to find, your first high-ticket sales job, right? And we're going to be talking about why. Really, it's going to be about two things. And there's going to be an introduction here, and I'm going to explain the importance of networking and why. I guess probably, if you're watching this video, you may have bought a guru's program, right? A marketer's program, not a sales guy's program. And they've told you to do all these different things and it just haven't worked, right? Maybe you've tried going through Facebook groups, job posts, Upwork posts, right? Upwork's a little bit better, but even Facebook posts and just job posts, LinkedIn, anything like that, usually most people are unsuccessful with that method. Here's why. A lot of people like to bring a 9-to-5 mindset into the sales industry. When you're doing something totally completely different to what the 90%, 95% of normal people are doing, you have to do, things that are, you have to take more responsibility, right? You have to think of yourself as a business. You're no longer an employee. You run your own business. You're a sales agency. You're the marketing department. You're the sales department. You're the fulfillment department. And you need to take that responsibility in that way. And simply applying through Facebook groups and job posts, it doesn't work. It really rarely worked 4 or 5 years ago. And even now, it's way, way, way worse, right? Why? Because look at all these different programs, right? People have bought, 997 courses all the way up to $8,000, courses learning how to get into the high ticket sales industry, and everybody wants a job. Now, what the problem is you're treating yourself like a job applicant. You're bringing the 9-to-5 mindset into high ticket sales. Like I mentioned, you have to start thinking of yourself like a business. Here's some statistics. There was a survey or a study that was done with LinkedIn, and 3,000 businesses were surveyed, or they filled out a form with a bunch of questions. 75% of those employers employed people from a trusted connection within the company. So they either knew someone inside of the company or they trusted a third party to then make that introduction and hire them. So that's a huge, huge number right there. Now, the most desirable companies, so the best companies on the list, it was 95%. 95% of the most desirable companies, there was a 5% chance that you would have landed a job through a job post, right? Let's do even some more math. Let's say there's a job post, right? You have no experience, which usually doesn't matter, by the way, but when you are utilizing job posts, again, this is the same thing that everybody else has access to, so you're going to struggle, right? There's a lot of noise. Let's say there's one job post, right? You have 100 people applying for that job, and that's to be, that's to be conservative, right? It's probably going to be way more. Let's say for simplicity's sake, it's 100 people. One person will land that role. You have a 1% chance of landing that role through a job post. I hope you can start to see like the math doesn't quite add up here, right? All these gurus will tell you Facebook groups, job posts, recruiters, and why, you can use recruiters to your advantage, absolutely. it's the blind leading the blind. All these marketers will tell you stuff that was kind of able to work a couple years ago, but the industry changes really, really quickly. And I know this from someone who's been in the industry for years and years and years, and it changes every couple months. The landscape changes every couple months. And that's why you need someone who's actually been in the trenches to tell you and show you that, right? Like I mentioned before, you may have done a course, and this might be hard to hear, right? But the Facebook group strategy and job post strategy simply does not work. Well, I mean, it does to a degree, but a very small percentage of you are going to land your dream roles. Now, why it's even worse is because if you have less opportunity, you have less choice, you will choose a role out of desperation. And we're going to be talking about another video this week on how to find out whether or not a role is a good role or a bad role. But this is a skill that I think a lot of people lack, right? They'll take a role out of desperation. It's like cold calling or prospecting with your Facebook group profile and all the type of stuff that, again, you become a volunteer for these businesses and you end up doing 60% of the work for less than 10 to 5% of the cut. You've probably been in that position if you're watching this video, right? Which I've been there, right? And I want to help you overcome that, right? So let's talk about two things, right? So strategy and effort. So how do we start finding our dream gigs? Well, first thing is we need to change our strategy. If we're doing what the 90% of the industry is struggling right now to find the best high ticket sales roles, right? Why? Because they're all doing the same thing. Job posts and Facebook groups, right? That's their method. That's their best way of finding these roles. So what do we need to do is we need to change our strategies. Now we know of the statistics before, what we spoke about before, is we need to network with the right people, whether or not that is recruiters, whether or not that is hiring managers, whether or not that is salespeople in the industry that you want to work in, whether or not that is salespeople in the company that you want to work in. You need to create relationships and let people know who you are so that you can land these roles and opportunities, right? If your dream company doesn't know who you are, doesn't even know you exist, how do you expect them to hire you, right? This is really, really important. And this, we talk about personal branding and things like that in the RSA all the time, because that is the key difference that differentiates to you compared to the rest of your competition, right? It is a sales meritocracy, right? So obviously the best of the best earn the most, right? The same strategy applies to your networking. If you don't put the same amount of effort that you are putting into learning your sales skills, into networking and landing the right opportunity, you won't even get to the point where you can actually maximize your sales skills to make the money that you want to make, right? Same mistake. I see it happen all the time. People come into these courses, right? They train to get good at sales. They take 90 days, 120 days, 4 months, and then they start applying for roles. And then they go out there, and then the next 30, 60, 90 days, they start going to Facebook groups. They get a bunch of messages from people that are trying to scam them, right? And they'll say like, hey, pay me $3,000 and I'll guarantee you placement, which again, guaranteed placement is just total bullshit, by the way. I'm going to make a full length video breaking that down as to why that is just at least 85 to 90% of the time not going to be valuable to you. But yeah, that's the common experience, right? They'll train up, they'll try to get good, which, you get good by actually being on the phone and actually getting some real life experience doing this stuff. Everything sounds fun before you actually step in the arena, right? Where people actually are going to throw objections at you, where you're really going to learn real time. And yeah, so like I mentioned, change your strategy, right? Job posts, Facebook groups doesn't work anymore, right? It's going to be incredibly difficult to find your dream role. So start networking with the right people, right? Start giving value and building relationships with people that are in the industry that you want to work with, sales reps, all that type of stuff, like I mentioned before. Your chances increase by 75 to 95% by knowing the right people, right? So we've changed the strategy. Now we need to put the right effort, right? This is really, really important. So even in the RSA, right, this happens, here or there, right? We established the expectations at RSA pretty well. I like to credit myself on that, the standards expectations we have. But what will happen is, even if someone has the right strategy, the effort doesn't match their results, right? They have a 10K a month goal, and they have a $100 strategy, and they have a $5 effort, right? Here's the problem with that. The success equation really breaks down like this. Successful actions, daily actions, plus like a successful strategy, a proven strategy that's proven to work, multiply by the exponent of time, you'll get to where you want to be. The problem is, people have these 10, 15, 20, 25, 30K plus per month goals, but they don't have anywhere near the effort to match it, right? Obviously, their strategy is flawed, but their effort is completely off the chart, right? It's just not even anywhere near close to where they need to be to maximize the result. They'll do 1 day of outreach or 1 day of networking, right? Or 1 week of networking. They go, oh, I thought this was a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Of course it is, right? Nothing is easy, right? You have to understand this, right? To earn the top income in the world, to be able to travel the world, to be able to have financial freedom, time freedom, pick your own hours, work with your dream company, it's going to take some effort, right? And this is the thing that I really pride myself on in the RSA, more specifically, is that I give you the right expectations. There's so many people out there that will tell you that take calls by the beach, make 10K a month in 30, 60, 90 days. While that is all possible, right, it's probably unlikely, right? But you need to have the realistic expectations, the right strategy, and the right effort, right? The right inputs to the right inputs to the right, why can't I think of the word? Right inputs to create the right outputs, right? Mathematical equation, right? Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? That's from Einstein. If you've been trying to do Facebook group strategies and job posts and it hasn't worked, right? Go through, look at my channel. I'm going to be posting more videos on how to implement this strategy more specifically. But again, guys, if you've been using the same strategy for a long time, you're frustrated and it just is not working with you, not working to the way that you want it to, and it's been too long, you're too frustrated, send me a DM on Instagram, let's have a chat or book in a call, because I would love to help you workshop a different strategy and give you the right expectations so you can actually get in this industry and actually get the outcomes that you actually were once promised when you first entered the industry, right? Like I mentioned, guys, really, really big thing for me is all about integrity, right? It's really, really important to me that, again, people are told the truth about this industry, but not only that, they're given the right skills to be successful within this industry, which is more, a lot of these guys will not provide to you. Because believe me, I've seen it, right? Heard students come to me all the time saying, I invested this, there, or whatever, and they didn't get any results, right? It's plain and simple. Wrong strategy, wrong skills, wrong effort, wrong mindset. You solve those 4 things, and you will start to see results and you will start to see some change, okay? So with that said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you got some insights. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.